Soft landing.
Yes. Where
Essentially
were we?
means economy's heating up and you're able to cool it down some for the interest of all without causing a recession. That's how you defined it. What does a soft landing for this scenario represent? I remember you were pulling out some stats that you researched this weekend that I think made it more contextual to what it means to us right now.
Yeah, well, so a soft landing really comes down to a few different things, right? It's going to come down to inflation coming down.
Mhm.
That's number one. It's going to come down to unemployment not rising so much that it would be in recessionary phase. And then it's going to come down to what is the growth, right? If we have negative quarters of GDP growth, then that's what the classic definition of what a recession is. So it comes down to those three factors. How low can we get inflation down? How low can we keep unemployment?
Mhm.
And can we avoid doing that? Or can we do that while avoiding negative GDP growth? That's what the soft landing is. So I was researching, and Wall Street Journal just came out with their study, and they do these studies and they survey economists. And it's great because you get a pulse on what the economy and the smart economists are thinking.
Mhm.
And they've changed a lot year over year. But they started to ask, okay, what do we expect the inflation, the consumer price index will be at the end of this year? What do we expect unemployment will be? And where do we see GDP growth being? And the Fed also has some predictions. So I think the Fed is if I check my notes here, I'll figure it out for you guys. It's either the Fed or the Wall Street Journal predicted that CPI, the consumer price index, which is what inflation is generally measured by, they expected CPI to be 2.4% by the end of 2024. The Fed's mandate is to get inflation to 2%. It's 3.4% right now, if my memory serves me right. And so you can see that's coming down. 3.4 to 2.4 would be a really healthy chunk out of inflation and getting that back down to what the Fed's mandate is. So that would be a great sign if we can pull that off.
Bringing inflation down from 3.4 to 2.4, making sure that we don't have a lowering GDP, right? Keep the GDP constant or growing, and making sure that unemployment does not rise beyond a certain level.
Yeah, and so on the unemployment side, they predicted what will our unemployment rise be, or the percentage of unemployment, what will it be? Across the country right now, it's 3.7% as of the end of 2023, and they're expecting that it'll be 4.3% at the end of 2024.
Okay.
So that is really low by historical standards.
Pretty acceptable, right?
Right.
Under like 5%, it's a good unemployment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Under 5% is great unemployment.
Yeah.
The average is above 5%. So now, if we can get inflation down to 2.4%, if we can have unemployment rise like we all expect it will, but it only rises to 4.3%, boom, that's 2/3 of the stool. Now, I should say that, just to put this in real terms, unemployment rising to 4.3% would still put an extra 1 million Americans out of work. Okay, so everybody is assuming that this economic engine that is the United States is going to slow down. There's very few people who think otherwise. So we all need to get into this. Like, a soft landing doesn't necessarily mean abundance for our country.
Yeah.
It is the best possible scenario, knowing what the economic conditions are that we're facing.
Interesting. Okay, cool.